Malaysia oversees a massive maritime border. Its exclusive economic zone stretches deep into the South China Sea, covering critical shipping lanes. Securing that expanse is a physical challenge. Uninvited foreign vessels regularly cross into these zones, probing defenses and testing response times. To anchor the air defense of this vast territory, the Royal Malaysian Air Force relies heavily on a high-end strike force that consists of exactly 8 aircraft, the FA-18D Hornet. The Hornet was born out of the United States lightweight fighter program in the 1970s. It evolved from the YF-17 prototype, seen here flying alongside an early FA-18. When the U.S. Navy adopted the design, McDonnell Douglas modified the airframe specifically for carrier service. They reinforced the undercarriage and added a heavy-duty tailhook so the jet could routinely slam into the deck at high speeds without braking. That Naval Pedigree design created a rugged platform. For an Air Force operating with strict numerical limits, buying a jet engineered to withstand structural abuse meant acquiring an asset that could survive decades of land-based operations. Malaysia took delivery of its initial batch of 8 twin-seat Hornets between March and August of 1997. The original procurement plan called for multiple squadrons to build a formidable strike wing, but almost immediately after these first jets touched down, the Asian financial crisis struck. Regional economies cratered and defense budgets froze. Expansion plans were shelved. The Air Force was locked into operating a microfleet. Without the possibility of reserve units or replacements, each of those 8 airframes became an irreplaceable national asset. They had to make 8 jets perform the duties of a force several times its size. With attrition mathematically out of the question, Malaysia had to maximize the capability of every single flight. The Hornet's physical design is built for high-stress maneuvering. Large leading-edge extensions, the sweeping sections where the wings meet the main body, create powerful vapor vortices when the jet pulls up. This keeps the aircraft controllable even at extreme angles of attack. During those low-speed, extreme maneuvers, the jet relies on twin General Electric F404 turbofan engines. They provide rapid acceleration and are highly resistant to the engine stalls that usually occur when aircraft are pushed to those limits. Malaysia specifically chose the D variant of the Hornet. Unlike the single-seat C model, the D features a tandem cockpit, seating a dedicated weapons and sensors officer directly behind the pilot. Operating over crowded, contested littoral waters involves a massive mental workload. One person flies the jet and evades threats, while the officer in the back processes radar data, tracks multiple surface targets, and guides precision munitions. Having 2 crew members enables the Hornet's swing-roll capability. During a single mission, the crew can flip a switch to transition the jet from an air-to-air fighter escort into a ground attack bomber. To make that work, the aircraft needs a dual-threat payload. The schematic here shows how the Hornet mounts AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles on its wings to clear the airspace, while simultaneously carrying heavy ordnance like Harpoon missiles on its underbelly to strike ships. By dividing the cognitive workload and carrying mixed payloads, the D variant allows a single aircraft to perform the roles of both a dedicated fighter and a heavy bomber within a single mission. In March 2013, over 200 armed militants invaded the coastal area of Lahad Datu in Sabah. The standoff quickly escalated into a national security crisis, requiring a full military response known as Operation Dalit. The Hornets were called in to break the deadlock. Flying close air support missions, they dropped laser-guided munitions to clear out fortified positions and secure a strict no-fly zone. While the hardware proved itself in combat, maintaining the relevance of an airframe built in the 1990s requires continuous modernization of its internal computers. Malaysia integrated the 25X software upgrade along with advanced targeting pods like the one seen here. This update gave the jet the computing power to accurately guide and drop GPS-guided JDAM bombs. They also added the Joint Helmet-Mounted Cueing System. This hardware projects targeting information directly onto the visor, allowing the pilot to lock an AIM-9X missile onto an enemy aircraft simply by turning their head to look at it. By continuously swapping out the digital brains of the aircraft, the Air Force transformed a legacy hardware platform into a precision strike asset compatible with modern guided weapons. Today, the South China Sea is one of the most heavily militarized regions on the planet, increasingly crowded with foreign naval fleets and massive artificial island bases. The Hornets serve as Malaysia's primary tool for enforcing maritime sovereignty. They regularly scramble to intercept foreign military aircraft approaching national airspace and conduct live-fire anti-ship drills to project power. To keep their tactics sharp, the squadron continuously trains with international partners, flying complex missions in major joint exercises like Pitch Black and Cope Talfon. Upgraded data links allow the older Hornets to communicate securely with Allied forces. They routinely integrate into strike packages, flying wing-to-wing alongside modern fifth-generation stealth fighters from the US and Australia. Operating seamlessly within these coalitions signals to regional adversaries that Malaysia's air power, while small, possesses the same tactical capabilities as its advanced allies. The reality of operating a microfleet is that any loss is devastating. In 2025, an accident resulted in the loss of one airframe, leaving an already thin force even further stretched. Efforts to replenish those numbers by purchasing surplus jets from Kuwait recently collapsed. For the foreseeable future, the frontline strike wing is definitively capped at just 7 aircraft. To compensate for this minimum quantity, the Air Force relentlessly focuses on maximizing the qualitative readiness and the lethal potential of those remaining 7 jets. The Royal Malaysian Air Force has spent nearly 3 decades proving that numerical quantity isn't the only metric for success. Through technological parity and tactical mastery, these 7 jets successfully hold the line.